the Mike Leaf Show here on the Warrior Sports Network. Our last chance to talk this week before two big games on the road this weekend. Northern State on Friday, MSU Moorhead on Saturday. The road doesn't get any easier as these are two really, really good teams in the NSIC North.
Yeah, both of them are. And this is, a pivotal weekend for us. And, we've always prided ourselves at playing well on the road. So, we go to a northern state, they'll draw 3,000 to 4,000 people. Great place to play. And then a little different scenario at Moorhead, but both teams are playing well.
How have you, or how have the guys looked in practice this week, coming off such an emotional weekend against Minnesota State and Concordia St. Paul, where they played so well? How have they been doing in practice, starting to now channel their focus towards another team?
Yeah, it was ironic because Jonte Flowers happened to be, he's leaving this next week, and he happened to be in the gym. And I kind of put Jonte on the spot, and I said, we're at that point in time. You've been there before. Any great pieces of advice you'd like to tell the guys? And, they were all ears, and they were just looking right at Jonte. And the great thing that he said was, and it is the old cliche, but, things that we had talked about back when he played, the one game at a time thing. And it's like, you're focused on Northern State right now. That's all you got to focus on. But you always keep in mind, it's like a ladder. Take those steps up a ladder, but that you got to think about your goal and what that high-level goal that you have. But knowing that each one of those steps you've got to prepare and you've got to focus on. And he complimented them about saying how well they were playing as he's been watching. And it was just a great shot in the arm for us coming from a past player that's been there. And so he had some great words for him. And bang, that next day right in practice, you could just see a lot more energy. So.
Josh Mongan also mentioned how cool that was to have Jonte come in and say a few words. You have a lot of your former players, the great players in Winona State history, who are in and around this team, Jonte, John Smith, and the list goes on and on and on. What does it mean to you and what does it mean to the team to have guys like that available to come in and give them a little pep talk when they need to?
Oh, that's awesome. The thing is that, they remember being in those positions. And, Jonte, one of the greatest players that's ever been here. And the things that he did, and he'll watch us practice, and he was doing some shooting in that before practice on his own, and he'd love to be out there.
Yeah.
He would just absolutely love to be out there playing. And it's one of those things where you got to take advantage of the years that you have in college and you're playing ball. And if you're fortunate enough to go above and beyond, great. But it's just super to see those guys help us out when they can.
Moving from a list of the former greats now to the guys that we have on the court, and you've got a group of 4 freshmen who have really taken off and really stepped into some solid roles. Riley Bamanek had 20 points against Concordia St. Paul. He had 8 assists against Minnesota State. You have Kyle Bauman, who played well, Isaiah Gray, Josh Mongan. You've got a group of 4 freshmen who really aren't playing like freshmen.
No, they're not. They've really come a long way, and actually they haven't played like freshmen since day one. I think, I think it was very... The important part for them last year was the redshirting and being able to play against, like, your inside guys against Vetti and your guards against your, Xander Culvers and Xavier Humphreys and Grant Johnsons, etc. And I think that really, really helped. And plus, you've got some upperclassmen that are just phenomenal. Taylor Cameron and Kellen Taylor, and even those are the 2 that have been around, but they're so instrumental in bringing our guys along. And then, you add Kyle Melcher, who's a great athlete, and he's played a lot of football, and he's been in positions like that too. So he adds a little piece to the puzzle as well for those that are coming off the bench. So it's just a nice group that has really matured together.
Well, it's a group that will take to the road for the next 2 weekends, beginning this weekend.
You coming?
I'm not coming. I'm not coming.
Aberdeen, baby.
Staying here. Staying in the warmth and the sunshine of Winona.
Below 0 in Aberdeen.
No. But it's games at Northern State on Friday, at MSU Moorhead on Saturday. 2 more great games on the road for the Warriors this weekend. That's all we have for the Mike Leaf Show. We will see you right back here next week with a lot more.